I was just um, living my everyday life, about to settle in and retire for the evening, um, as are my two sons. And I was just thinking, I was mindful of this documentary. And it is a documentary about the mighty lion. Um, I believe it is Kruger. That would be Kruger, Kruger lions. Now, here's the thing. um, I have been a animal enthusiast for my entire life. This is not something new that I have picked up recently. I have been an animal enthusiast since I was a little girl, studying animals quite deeply, only having stopped approximately, I would say, maybe 5 years ago, or a little before that, perhaps. But this, first, a warning. This documentary, I have always, since I was a little girl, this might be hard to believe, but in order to save time, I'm just gonna get to the point, and you're just gonna have to trust me on it. I have always seen graphic, intense documentaries, and because they were documentaries, my mother was faithful and diligent to allow me to see whatever documentary I wanted to see. The only requirement is that it had to be educational, and it had to be about, well, no adult content, and it could be about the animals. I was allowed to see the animals, mate, and everything, but typically I would turn away from that because I wasn't really particularly interested in that, but I did see that too. That is a part of the animal kingdom. But as long as it was nothing crazy, I could see all of the, and when I say crazy, I mean like no crazy programming, right? I could see whatever I wanted in regards to the animals. So I've done that my whole life. So I had a very intense interest that is not new, and I've always had that. So recently, and when I say recently, I would say like in the last 10 years. So this was probably more than like about 5 years ago. There was this documentary, and I, of course, wanted to see it because it was about lions, and I was a huge, and I still am a huge animal enthusiast. This documentary, I click it, and I found it on YouTube. And for my whole life, I've been searching for documentaries that would go further, that would show more, let me hear more, let me see more, that would not edit things out. I felt like I felt frustrated because I felt as though something was being kept from me, something was being, edited out and hidden from me. Yes, we would see hunts, right? We'd see hunts. And when I say we, I mean me and other people who are enthusiasts. We'd see the hunts with the Nat Geo, National Geographic back in the day, and the Explorer Channel, etc. And we'd see stalking and hunts, and successful hunts, unsuccessful hunts, fights with the wolves, fights between the lions, the hyenas, etc., etc., birds of prey, etc. And we'd see all that, and we'd see even the consumption process after there's a hunt, and even bleached bones, down to the bleaching of bones, yes. But I always felt like something was not being shown. Like the angle is off, right? And I'm not seeing everything, right? And so my whole life I've had this intense underlying frustration, and I wanted to see more. Or at least that's what I thought I wanted. And then recently comes YouTube and this lion pack that is called, I believe, the Kruger Lions, but please pardon me, that might not be the name. I think it was called the Kruger Lions. But from a child, I have seen like if it is a good documentary, and I mean good, if it is stellar, and even if it's not, I've seen it. I've more than likely seen it. And I know that might sound arrogant, but I put in the hours, I put in the work. I've seen it. The last 20 years, I've seen it. And so this particular lion pack was known to be highly, like extremely, even more aggressive than the normal typical lion, they say. And to this date, I still have curiosities about this lion pack, but I have not been able to return. Here's the thing. After seeing this, I'm sorry, I'm looking away because I'm looking at how long this is. After seeing this video, I left animal enthusiasm a little bit. I'm still into animals, but I don't watch documentaries about animals anymore. Sometimes I do. It's extremely rare. I have been a little traumatized because this documentary, I rated a 10 out of 10. But for someone who had no indicators, meaning I would be the person that you would believe you could watch this documentary from beginning to end, and I would absolutely love it and be like looking for more at the end. Zero indicators. Every indicator that I would be able to see this documentary, digest it just fine, and then go on to my next documentary. And this video, that this lion pack, first of all, I don't know if this lion pack is truly what they said it was in regards to, and I typically don't question this stuff. I typically trust their word, but because I don't have a frame of reference for any particular pack equaling this pack, I don't know if it is because of the editing being completely, like they did not, it seemed like they didn't edit anything. They left nothing out, and they left nothing to the imagination. And I was impacted. I was impacted in an unfortunate way, shockingly to myself. I don't know if it's because of that or if it's because of the lions being particularly aggressive strain of lions. And that is extremely intriguing because that is something I would really want to study further for many different reasons. Because the book of Revelations, I believe it says, it might not be Revelations, but it indicates changes in animal behavior. And this lion pack is so aggressive, so very aggressive, that I want to see whether this is normative behavior or if this is something new. But there's no way for me to do that because I can tell that this might be a situation in which it could be a mixture. I'm sorry, I apologize. I didn't consider that. It could also be a mixture that this is a new breed of lions, and they cut nothing out and left nothing to the imagination, for which I do not fault them because I have been begging for this for so long. So I am surprised at myself. I'm disappointed at myself. But this documentary is a 10 out of 10. But there are going to be some people, unfortunately, that they will not be able to handle it. And there's a reason why I'm uploading this in the context of Christianity. Allow me to cook, okay? Because this blew my natural mind, and I hope that it blows your mind too, okay? So first of all, just in case you are wondering, I do not suggest that you see this unless you go to the Lord first, because I'm trying to tell you, and I don't fully have it figured out, but a little damage done. I left Animal Enthusiasm a little, seen hardly any documentaries, not even documentaries that don't even have anything to do with lions, because of this documentary is a 10 out of 10. The question is, can you handle a documentary that is the leading cutting edge of what might, because I think they're gonna, after this, I think they're gonna start shooting like they normally did. I think they wanted to try something different to see if the public can handle it. But if people start popping up like me, I think they're going to be inclined to go back to the old method of shooting, frankly, so that, to retain people's interest, because the last thing they want people to do is walk away from being scarred, okay? But this movie, like, if you go to the Lord and he says, go ahead and watch it, you will not be disappointed with this lion. You will not. I'm trying to tell you. You will not be disappointed, but you do not want to go into this lightly, because it is truly the best documentary I have ever seen in regards to the animal kingdom when it comes to hunters, and that would be specifically the lions. But it is better than reason, and you might be wondering why I said it that way, because I could have said it's the best lion documentary. It is the best documentary, period. And it is the period, slam down. The thing is, can you handle it? Because I could not handle it. I have a massive ego. And if I say that it was too much for me, I couldn't handle it. It was too much for me, okay? Now, why? Let me get to why am I mentioning this in regards to Christianity? Well, let me take you to, and this is once again not going to be flattering, but I tell it like it is on this channel, and I will do so with no apologies. I'm also an excellent mama. I had a dream. Now, you're going to see 3 things. If you don't listen carefully, you will not pick it up. So you're going to have to listen carefully, actively, in order to pick up what I'm dishing out, else it's going to sound all over the place. These 3 things are 3 factors that matter. So we have a trifecta here that you need to respect, actually has something to do with one another. So we have the Kruger, what could be, because I could have blocked it out, but I believe it was called the Kruger Lion documentary. Do not go see that documentary unless the Lord says it's okay. Then you have this dream, and then you have the Kruger documentary, the dream, and what else? There's something. The Kruger documentary, the dream, and the lion. All right. And I'll explain what I mean by the lion, okay? Because that's going to be the Bible, scriptures. So I had a dream in which this was a beautiful dream. It was a beautiful dream. It was a humbling dream, something that the Lord works with me on constantly because he loves me dearly. And that's what I need, okay? So I had a humbling dream. And yes, when I say it was beautiful, it was beautiful. May not be in the way that you would think of beauty, but it was a very beautiful, humbling dream. And it was dark. It was beautiful dark. And I was looking, I believe, uphill. And up this hill was, I believe, I couldn't remember if it was 3 crosses or 1 cross. But there was a cross nonetheless, if not 3. And the sky was dark and thick with black, with very dark, not necessarily black, but very dark clouds, as if it's almost night. And I could feel, for some strange reason, I could feel like the presence. Don't ask me why. But you know how dreams are, where anything is possible in a dream. And somehow I understood the assignment. I understood what was going on. I couldn't see my sons, but I felt my sons behind me. But I couldn't see them. But I had a knowing that they were behind me. And for some strange reason, also, I couldn't see God. But for some reason, I had a knowing that God was in front of me. So I am the woman. I'm between these two parties. Behind me. First of all, you have in front of God are this cross, or these 3 crosses, I can't remember the number, uphill. And then you have God. So he's between me, and notice the placement. Notice the, oh, have mercy. Whew. Notice the placement. Notice the placement, y'all. My God is a God of order. Now, please understand, it was a long time ago. I had this dream years ago. Not too many years ago, but years ago. And so my memory may not be perfect. The Lord knows I will do everything. He knows I will do everything I can to not embellish and to hold to the truth. He knows I don't play with his things. Okay. So if I make any mistake, it's already forgiven, because he knows I'm trying to remember as best I can. So you may not be getting the perfect truth, but I'm trying to remember very hard. But the placement is insane if I'm remembering the placement perfectly. And I just thought about it. Notice what I just said. As far as I am trying to remember, the cross is farthest out from me. Then there is God, and he is between me and the cross, as I believe I'm looking uphill at a cross, or more than one cross. And behind me is my sons, or my sons. I can feel them, but I cannot see them. And I can feel God, but I cannot see him. And I see the cross, and I understand, like it reverberates, and it's so much like there was very little talking. I could feel communication in like every fiber of my being. The Lord was speaking to me, I feel. And it was like every atom in my body could feel and hear him. But it wasn't necessarily that he was chatting, if you know what I mean, like I'm doing to you right now. So I feel this intense, like in this beautiful moment, and it was, oh my goodness, I feel this intensity of weighty responsibility. And I feel as though something huge is about to happen, and it has to do with the cross. It has to do with the cross. Something huge is about to happen and take place. And I feel God Almighty. He looks at me. And I believe he asked me, and this is going to seem so, hopefully y'all don't leave my channel. But I be saying stuff that other people dare not say. And I'm going to say it anyway. The Lord is my friend. So it's okay if you don't want to be my friend. The Lord is my friend. But I feel the way something is about to go down. Like decisively. It is imminent. And I feel like I want to be somewhere else. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm wanting to be somewhere else. And God asked me. And you about to see why it was so humbling. And that was one of the reasons why I believe the Lord gave me this dream, to humble me. He asked me, like, and I don't remember his exact words, but, Mother, do you want to get up on this cross and pay for the sins of Jonathan and pay for the sins of Joseph. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get my baby's names. Oh my goodness. I did not mean to, but it's okay. It's okay. All right. So I felt in that moment, I answered the Lord. Like, it's strange because you would think that I would be so terrified. Either I'd be brave, like one way or other. I would be brave and I would give like a yes or something like that, or I'd be so terrified that I couldn't speak. But never ever in all my life, actually, in my conscious or unconscious state, has the Lord ever said anything to me and I've not responded. It's so strange. It's like I don't know for certain, but it's like when the Lord is talking, he has to get a response. He's God. So it's like you will come up like you have to respond. You are compelled. It's like spirit talking to spirit. So when I feel like when the Lord speaks to someone, or at least to me, my spirit must yield a response. I feel like there is no creature on earth, in the heavens or under the earth, that can withhold a response from God, because he is God. And saying that the creature can maintain silence and withhold a response, even if the response is damning, is saying that God is limited in his power and cannot make any creature or being yield a truthful response. So I believe that even the demons do not have the ability to withhold an answer. I believe that people who are sent to hell do not have an ability. One of the reasons why every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess is because when God, the Father of all spirit, compels an answer must be given. It will gush out, whether it is a proper answer, a damning answer, but it has to answer. It has to speak. I believe there's no such thing as dumb in the spirit realm, because God will always get his answer. So I don't know that for sure, but I believe that with all my heart, because my spirit, I believe, has let go of some information I wasn't aware of. And hearing my spirit communicate with God is how I found out about myself. Because when God compels anything, and I mean anything, to speak and give an account, it has to respond. Okay? I believe that with all my heart, because he is God. You can't maintain silence with God. You will give an account. Right? So just make sure you have something good to say, right? Serve Jesus, okay? Receive Jesus. So you'll have something to say. Something good to say. Joseph, come here. Boogada, 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 boogada. So the Lord, I believe, has asked my spirit a question. I can't be silent. I can't. I believe with all my heart. It's not possible, because God has addressed me and asked me a direct question. My spirit has no choice but to gush out the most honest answer, because it has to be honest. Because God will always get the exact truth out of anything, even the devils. Even the devils. My spirit gives a honest answer, direct assessment in real time to the God who I believe just spoke and asked it a direct question. Do you want to get on the cross and pay for the sins of your sons? And then I'm given like an opportunity to do so. Like I'm literally I can go up and do, and I was like, no. And I know, like, hopefully I don't lose all my phone. I was like, no. And I was like, here's the thing. It was more than dying. Because I feel like, wow, you wouldn't take a bullet for your son. It was more than that, yo. It was so, I can't put it into words. It was like, do you want to get up there and pay for 2 souls? Pay for the salvation of 2 souls. And first of all, I couldn't do it because guess what? I'm not sinless. You must be sinless. Right? But this was to, I believe, show me many things and teach me many things. And so it was like, do you want to pay for the sins of 2 souls as I turn my face away from you? And I reject you in that moment, because that is what I do with sin. I hate it. And you carry the price and the burden of that stain on that sin upon yourself, and take it upon yourself while I look away and turn my face away. And would you like to come up to this cross, and would you like to do that on behalf of your 2 sons? And I said no. And what does this have to do with the Kruger Lions? Yo, first of all, you are not going to understand. You can't unless you see the documentary. But I'm not desperate for views or clicks. Do not see that documentary unless you pray about it and the Lord lets you proceed. That documentary, coming from a lifelong enthusiast, is tough. It is the best documentary concerning animals, predator animals, that I have ever seen in my life. And it may be the last documentary concerning animals that I may ever see. Hopefully not, but that's how impacted I was by that video. I think it's in multiple pieces because I think it's quite long. I saw it from beginning to end, so I know what I speak. Why this? This, if you look at the Bible, and I believe everything happens for a reason. Everything, and this perfect storm of trifecta that you would think has nothing to do with each other. This animal documentary about lions. A woman's dream about the cross and her 2 sons. And a Kruger lion documentary where the Bible says, and the Bible is more than poetry. It is prophecy from cover to cover in ways that you don't understand. It says, it describes God as the Lion of the tribe of Judah. And this documentary is being the best documentary of its kind in possibly my lifetime when it is concerning the lion. This documentary takes you from and shows you a snapshot of lions that from the time they hit Earthside, they are in battle. They are in battle. And when you see, and I don't want to give too much, but perhaps you'll know that it's not for you if it's not for you. But you're going to see life snuffed out, because it becomes almost like a snuff film at the end, where you see an embattled lion that has been battling his whole life, and he's still fighting. He's fighting down to his last breath. He is referred to as the king of the jungle. He has received this title because, like Jesus, wow, from a documentary. See, if something is traumatic, was it not predestined? If something was traumatic, the cross was trauma. The cross was traumatic. Pick up what I am putting down. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. This lion's life snuffed out. He battled his whole life, successfully fought, but now he's old, and you see him punished. He is fighting to his very last breath. He will not relent. He will not stop. He has taken on the crown because he is crowned as the king, because the king takes the battle on the front line, and Jesus took the battle on the front line. The cross was the front line. The cross is where, like this lion, Jesus does not stop at just being born. Jesus does not stop at just doing miracles. Jesus does not even just stop at dying. Jesus goes and he carries the cross and receives the punishment as he is being snuffed out very slowly. And the more closer he gets to his ultimate, to his final death, which he will be resurrected from, it does not relent. It does not lessen. It increases in intensity like contractions. So he continues further into it, and you see Jesus pushing into the pain, and he's pushing into the cross, and he's pushing into the beating. He's pushing into the scourging. He's being pushed into the nailing on the cross, and he's going closer and closer, whereas everybody else is going further back and away because they don't want it. And you see this lion, it's almost like the Bible, which spoke prophetically and truthfully. You see this lion, as lions descend upon his dying, yes, because if my memory serves me correctly, he's punished in that moment. They lash out and tear and rend him because he did not relent. This warrior that is now old and on the ground did not relent in his lifetime. He never ran away from battle, as best I can remember. And now he's been punished for it. And Jesus, those demons punished Jesus for every miracle. He would not relent, and he would not relent in his talking about and pleasing the Heavenly Father, and he would not relent in his, and they say that he was very much like a lamb, but they forget that, yes, when the Bible says lion, it's not lie, and yes, it's both, very much lion, because that lion that was being snuffed in the Kruger documentary was very much a lion. And so was Jesus, very much a lion, as he was being punished closer and closer with increasing intensity as he got closer to the cross. And it did not stop until he died. Now the Lord, unlike that lion, the Lord resurrected. But I will say once again, because some of you, I believe, are keen, because I noticed some of you built differently. So if the Lord leads you, I welcome you to watch this documentary if you feel so inclined and the Lord leads you to do so. If you can find it, I won't look because I was a little traumatized. This documentary, when you marry it to what I just said, it will take it right on home for you. So remember, when you think that things can't have absolutely anything to do with each other, remember, that's why this woman said, no, I do not want to get on that cross. Not even for my sons. Because it's not even a matter of you're being asked, would you like to die for your sons? No, that's a simple thing. But all this other stuff that comes along with it, that's what I said no to. And the dream ended with me having this insane respect for the Lion of the tribe of Judah. Be blessed.